Husband and wife tragic story. That evening, as my wife served dinner after I got home, I grabbed her hands and said, "I have got something to tell you." She took a seat and dined quietly. I noticed her hurt eyes once more. I found myself suddenly unable to open my mouth, but I had to express my thought to her. "I desire a divorce." I brought up the subject subtly. She did not appear to find my words irritating, instead asking me softly why. I did not answer her query. She was irate over this. "You are not a man," she yelled as she threw the chopstick away. We did not communicate with one another that evening. She was in tears. I was aware that she was curious about the state of our marriage. She had won my heart over to Mia, so I could hardly give her a satisfactory response. I stopped loving her. I was so sorry for her. I created a divorce agreement with her being allowed to own our home, our car and a 30% stake in my business out of a strong sense of guilt. She gave it a quick glance before shedding it. The woman with whom I had shared 10 years of her life was now a stranger. I felt bad for her for wasting time, money and energy, but I was unable to take back what I had said because I adored Mia so much. I finally heard her sobbing loudly right in front of me, as I had anticipated. Her sobs actually felt like a sort of release to me. I had been preoccupied with the idea of divorcing for a few weeks, but it seemed firmer and clearer now. She was writing something at the table when I got home very late the following day. I skipped supper and instead fell asleep right away because I was exhausted from my eventful day with Mia. She was still sitting at the table waiting when I woke. I simply did not care, so I rolled over and fell asleep once more. She presented her divorce terms in the morning. She demanded a month's notice before the divorce but did not ask for anything in return from me. She asked that we both make an effort to lead as normal a life as we can for the duration of that 1 month. She had a clear justification for these restrictions. She did not have exams like our son did in a month. I could agree with this. She also wanted me to remember how I had carried her into our bridal room on the day of our wedding. She asked me to carry her out of our bedroom and to the front door every morning for the entire month. I believe she was losing her mind. I complied with her strange request in order to make our final days together bearable. I told Mia about my wife's divorce conditions. She laughed loudly and thought it was absurd. No matter what tricks she applies, she has to face the divorce, she said scornfully. Since I made my explicit intention to divorce my wife, we have not made a physical contact, so we both looked clumsy the first day when I carried her out. Behind us, our son clapped and Dad was cradling Mommy in his arms. His words caused me to feel hard. I carried her over 10 meters from the bedroom to the sitting room, then to the door. She whispered, "Don't tell our son about the divorce," while her eyes were closed. I nodded while having some angst. She placed outside the door by me. She went to stand in the bus stop lineup on my own. I took the car to work. We both acted much more naturally on the second day. She sat against my chest. Her blouse skin was detectable to me. I became aware that it had been a while since I had given this woman my full attention. She was no longer young. I realized her face had small lines and her hair was beginning to gray. She had suffered as a result of our marriage. I briefly questioned what I had done to her. When I picked her up on the 4th day, I felt a sense of intimacy returning. The person who had devoted 10 years of her life to me was this. I noticed that our sense of intimacy was returning on the 5th and 6th day. Mia was not informed of this by me. As the month passed, carrying her got easier. Maybe the regular exercise made me stronger. One morning, she was deciding what to wear. She put on a lot of dresses but was unable to find one that fit. "All my dresses have gotten bigger," she sighed. She had become so thin. I suddenly realized, and that was why I could carry her more easily. I suddenly realized it. She had suppressed a great deal of suffering and resentment. I unintentionally touched her head with my hand. When our son entered, he said, "Dad, it's time to carry Mom out." He had grown to regard witnessing his father execute his mother as a crucial aspect of his life. My wife hugged our son tightly while beckoning him to get closer. I avoided looking at him out of concern that I might suddenly change my mind. After that, I carried her in my arms as I moved from the bedroom through the living room and out into the hallway. She gently and naturally encircled my neck with her hand. It was just like the day of our wedding as I tightly clutched her body. I was saddened by her much lighter weight when I held her in my arms on the last day. I was barely able to take a step. Our son had attended class. I said I had not noticed that our life lacked intimacy. While holding her tightly, I quickly exited the car without locking it after driving to the office. Any delay I feared would cause me to reconsider. I climbed the stairs. I apologized to Mia and told her that I no longer desired a divorce when she opened the door. She gave an amazed look before touching my forehead. Are you feverish? She spoke. Her grip on my head was released by me. I am sorry, Mia, but I won't get a divorce. She and I probably did not value the little things in our lives. Not that we stopped loving each other, which is why my marriage was boring. I now understand that I am supposed to hold her until death. Separate us because I carried her into my home on the day of our wedding. Mia appeared to awaken unexpectedly. She slapped me hard, slammed the door, and started crying. I went downstairs and got in my car. I placed a flower order for my wife at the florist on the way. When I got home that evening, my wife was dead in bed. I ran up the stairs with flowers in my hands and a smile on my face. I was too preoccupied with Mia to even notice that my wife had been battling cancer for months. She wanted to protect me from any negative feeling our son might have toward me if we went through with the divorce because she knew she would pass away soon. At least in our son's eyes, I am a devoted husband.